This is ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Cohn, and welcome to ABC 7 at 7. Topping our news tonight, not good when a pharmacist has to allegedly steal drugs to feed his own drug addiction. But it's the latest example of why there is growing concern over the misuse of opioids. 24-year-old Sebastian Rodriguez Ochoa is facing drug trafficking and possession charges after allegedly stealing more than $200,000 worth of drugs from a pharmacy where he works. Among the drugs stolen, OxyContin, morphine, and fentanyl, which is often mixed with heroin. When questioned by police, Ochoa says he is battling his own drug addiction.
That's a lot for one individual. You know, we're trying to figure out if there's any other involvement there. Maybe it's been going on for some time. We don't know. Like I said, it's still part of an ongoing investigation.
If you have any unwanted or expired pills, police advise you to drop them off at your local police department or the county health department. It has been nearly 3 years since State Senator Nancy Dietert's bill to ban texting while driving was signed into law. And the result? The number of distracted driving accidents has continued to rise. Florida Highway Patrol says 4 out of every 5 accidents it works involves distracted driving. That includes texting, eating, or even turning your attention from the road to passengers. The Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles reports there were 46,000 distracted driving accidents in Florida last year. That's up 3,000 from the year before.
You simply take your eyes off the road for 3.5 to 4 seconds while traveling the speed limit. You've just traveled the length of a football field. Imagine what you can hit driving blind for the length of a football field.
Under Florida law, texting and driving is a secondary offense, meaning you must be pulled over for another reason to be fined. Home sales are on the rise here on the Suncoast, and nowhere is hotter than Venice. Prices are on the rise as inventory drops, making it a seller's market. Local realtors say more than 2/3 of home purchases are being made with cash. An average of 500 people make the move to Florida each day. The majority of those are retirees. Hurricane season begins just 12 days from now, and according to a new projection, it could be an above-average year for storms. Yay! The weather company, a data collection group, estimates that there could be 14 named storms this year, including 3 major hurricanes here on the Suncoast, and Manatee County, Sarasota County Emergency Management are training for disaster scenarios. The annual exercise allows emergency responders to test their emergency protocols.
We have been saying every year, get ready, get ready. And so we need people to understand that, you know, sometimes we need to be serious, and this year might be it.
Residents are advised to have a hurricane kit and emergency plan. For more on what you need to know, you can watch ABC 7's Hurricane Special on June 1st with our own Bob Harrigan.
Obviously, June 1st starts the hurricane season, and you mentioned above average season. We're looking at basically an average to slightly above average season. The thing to note, though, is that some of the long-range models are suggesting we're going to go into La Nina, and what that means for us is that more storms develop in the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico during a La Nina situation. So the homegrown storms could be the ones we have to deal with. We'll have to keep a very close watch. Obviously, this year it's a record for the number of years in which we've gone without a major hurricane in the state of Florida and the United States, for that matter. So it's been very quiet as of late, and uneasily quiet, I might say. Well, here's what's happening. No hurricanes, but boy, a line of intense storms over the Gulf of Mexico once again this evening. We had one this morning that kind of blew apart before it reached us and then really flared up into central Florida. Notice that line. I think it's going to hold together, and it should be here just around midnight tonight. As far as showers go in our immediate area, if you have any plans this evening, not a problem. Some showers east of Fort Myers and well east of Charlotte County. But this is the one we're watching, this line, which is still about 100 miles west of us, and it's moving pretty quickly to the southeast at around 25 miles an hour. So it should be on our doorstep in 4 hours, which would make it just after 11 o'clock tonight. We'll have more on that, obviously, at the 11 o'clock newscast. The high today, hot 91. This morning's low, 77, well above the averages on both occasions. 94, the record set back in 19. 1974. Well, as far as the latest goes, lots of lightning offshore. The evening planner looks to be pretty quiet, and then clouds increasing. We'll see showers developing after 11, temperatures staying pretty warm. And as far as that RPM forecast model goes, that may be a little underdone. We'll keep an eye on it for you. As far as the forecast for the weekend goes, just a slight chance for a shower or two after this moves through. So over the weekend, not too bad. High temperatures a little bit cooler than they were today. 91 was the high, close to record.
Right. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Bob. And still to come, it could be one of the most contentious elections this November. Sarasota County School Board. Find out why local parties are so interested in this race and why big money is playing a major role. That story when we come back.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
US Med has great news for anyone living with diabetes.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, US Med will ship a new glucose meter right to your home.
And shipping is free.
My new meter uses only a speck of blood, so it's less painful than my previous meter.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, you're covered with US Med. We're welcoming new patients, even if your current provider can't supply you anymore.
I don't even have to test on my fingers anymore. I can test on my hand or forearms, and it's more accurate than my old meter.
So call US Med today, and you'll have a choice of 2 great meters.
One that actually speaks your results, or a meter so small it fits on the bottle of strips.
Act now, and US Med will include a free prescription discount card. We'll also send you a free diabetes cookbook. This is your opportunity.
So call US Med today.
You'll be glad you did.
We all know Donald Trump and most likely Hillary Clinton will be battling it out for Florida's crucial 29 electoral votes this fall. But when it comes to local elections, what will be the hottest, more contested election? Think about it for a moment. Could it be a little old nonpartisan school board race? ABC 7's Christopher Brantley reports, perhaps so.
In a presidential election year when both the local Democratic and Republican parties are working hard doing their part to make sure the candidates win Florida's electoral votes, in an election year when there are congressional, state, Senate, and House seats up for grabs, one of the top priorities, at least for the Democrats, is a nonpartisan school board race, which at the moment they don't even have a candidate for.
One of the most important races I think that we have.
Christine Jennings is the chair of Sarasota's Democratic Party, and she's setting her sights on a father of 3 who's running for the school board.
We do not think that Eric Robinson is the person that should be on the school board.
Why? Because Robinson is better known in political circles for his work with political action committees. He's the treasurer of dozens of them.
The mere fact that he is over so many PACs, and so many PACs have contributed to dark money coming into this area, and people know that.
Robinson seems shocked Democrats are so worked up about his race. He's running, he says, out of real concern about public education.
I think the state of the schools district is good overall. The problem is a lot of people are satisfied with that.
Robinson said the school district needs to strive for more to keep climbing towards success.
Northport represents 15% of the population, but has 50% of all the C schools in Sarasota County.
The reason for that, says Robinson, has been a lack of attention to the low-income community. Far more is done for schools where the wealthy kids go. But get this.
Where do you kids go to school in the district?
I don't think it's about where my kids go to school. It's about the other kids. My kids are going to be fine.
The man running for school board doesn't send his kids to public schools. But before you rush to judgment, listen to why.
Our oldest child is special needs, and we had all intents and purposes sent him to public school.
But when he and his wife, County Commissioner Christine Robinson, toured several county schools, they found programs focused on keeping the kids safe in a room, but not teaching them how to overcome.
First thing I'm going to do is those other kids in that room, who's looking after them? And if I can change that policy, then yes, I might bring my son back. But I want those other kids. What about those other kids? What about them?
Can I infer that that's one of the main?
That's one of the main reasons.
As of May, Robinson has already raised $73,000 for his election, an election where, again, he's running unopposed. Do you think you can put up a candidate who can go toe-to-toe with him?
I do. I think we will, yes.
No sneak peek at who those people might be?
Oh, no.
Jennings wants to find a viable candidate because she fears where Robinson's money is coming from. But Robinson claims he's beholden only to himself, that those PACs won't hold anything over his head.
There was no outside entity controlling my campaign. I'm the master of my own destiny, and nobody's telling me how or what to do.
According to Robinson, the reason he's not being controlled is because he's the treasurer of those PACs he's receiving donations from.
Every political action committee that's contributed to my campaign, I've signed that check. So Eric Robinson is beholden to Eric Robinson.
Jennings hopes to have a candidate announcement soon. Robinson said he's looking forward to a spirited campaign. In the 7 South Newsroom in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Christopher, thank you. And in a moment, our roundtable.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
You know what scares me? No electricity. Yeah, when this magical box suddenly stops working, I call the pros at Mr. Sparky and they send a superhero to save the day. How's it going, Pablo?
It's going great, Mike.
Pablo possesses amazing skill. He can perform incredible feats at blinding speed.
Superhero. Couldn't have done it without you.
Modest, too.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Just to be clear, I don't live here.
Did you know? Many dogs are returned to shelters simply because they lack obedience. Contact Canine Corral about various training programs. We train dogs and their owners. Canine Corral, where the love is.
Attention, this is an important message for anyone who had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to their heart or lungs. Did your IVC filter move, break, or cause organ damage? The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, even death. If you or a loved one suffered serious complications, call IVC Filter Helpline now. You may be entitled to compensation. IVC filters are designed to prevent blood clots. If your IVC filter moved or broke and you suffered heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, or if a loved one died as a result, call IVC Filter Helpline today. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone. Call IVC Filter Helpline now.
Please call 800-897-6764. That is 800-897-6764.
Joining us for more on tonight's topic is Kevin Griffith, the Vice Chairman of the Sarasota County Democratic Party, Jack Brill, the Vice Chairman of the Republican Party of Sarasota County, and Shelby Webb. She covers the school board for the Herald Tribune, and I want to thank you all for being here. And Shelby, let me start with you. This is supposed to technically be a nonpartisan race. Is there anything nonpartisan anymore?
Well, I don't know if I can really comment on the politics of it, but I can say that it's getting much more expensive to run a school board race in Sarasota County. Before 2014, really, it only took about $5,000 to run a meaningful school board campaign. I mean, the most raised in 2010 was $8,375. In 2012, it was a little under $10,000. And then in 2014, both of the District 1 candidates, both Bridget Ziegler and Ken Marsh, both raised over $50,000 in their campaign. So about 5 times as much as they raised the last time.
And that says a lot in of itself. But is there any doubt that the Dems have their candidate in other seats, and the Republicans have their candidates, and that's how the race kind of shapes up?
Well, there's certainly rumors about that. I don't know how well-founded they are or aren't. But it certainly seems there's a lot more interest in these races than there have been in the past.
Kevin, Christine Jennings is not hiding anything. She's saying that this is priority #1 for Sarasota Democrats in this election cycle.
And it's because we're so passionate about public schools. I mean, we're proud as a community. This isn't necessarily a party thing when you look at the community at whole. We're all proud of our #2 ranking in the state for our public schools. And we want to keep that up and uphold that. And we see the opponent in this race as a threat to our public school system.
Well, is it that the Sarasota Democrats are so interested in public education, or you have a particular thing about Eric Robinson who is so involved and associated with dark money and political action committees?
I don't have a personal thing. I've only met the man once or twice. But I can tell you this year he's got 3 things that he's up against. One is his money, as large as the amount that he has in his campaign account. Problem is people already know him locally, and he has to overcome that reputation of the political action committees. The second is trust. You know this. I mean, people don't like outside money, especially in their local races, impacting those races. And the third is, in what might be a change year at the national level, people don't want change at the local level in our school system because we do so well. I mean, we are proud of our Sarasota County schools.
Jack, were the Republicans aware that the Democrats have begun to target this seat and this campaign for all the reasons that were discussed?
Well, originally there was a candidate from the Democrat Party, and she withdrew here in the last couple of weeks. You know, one of the things that we would all hope is there wouldn't be any politics in schools at all, you know, and with the children. And, you know, I throw out that I know we have offered in the past that, you know, we'll stay out of the school board race and we'll send a letter over and sign it if Christine will do the same thing. You know, we'd love to, you know, get out of the nonpartisan race.
Well, what about getting out of the money? I mean, it's incredible that there's so much money being pumped into school board races, and the criticism of these political action committees is that you don't know who the donors are.
And, you know, the PACs are a part of our existence for all races. I mean, you know, a lot of races have PACs. I mean, on both sides. You know, you look at Edward James has got a huge PAC. You know, when Christine ran for Congress, you know, she had a lot of PAC money. Republicans, we've got a lot of PAC.
But those are races where there's a Republican and there's a Democrat. City commission, school board, you're not identified technically as a Republican or a Democrat.
And you know what's interesting, though? The vast majority of voters, I mean, when they go to the polls, the first thing they'll ask is, or when you're out campaigning door to door, are you a Republican or are you a Democrat? And it's really interesting. The voters identify it by the political parties, you know, and even in a nonpartisan race.
Shelby, when you're covering the school board, is it easy to identify who the R and the D is from the positions that they take?
Increasingly, sometimes, I will definitely say that. But I would like to jump on your point. I mean, a lot of people make a big deal about Robinson's super PACs, but they've only contributed about $9,000 to his campaign so far. He's raised over $73,000. In fact, most of the donations are coming more from land developers, people involved with the building industry, and things like that. At least 57 of his 168 contributors have been from that field. So it's not like it's overly, at least his campaign. Then again, you know, political action committees can be used, you know, coming closer to the election to send out mailers and things like that. So we wouldn't necessarily need to donate them all of that money to his campaign. But if we're just talking about his campaign donations alone, super PACs don't make up the majority.
Kevin, how come the Democrats are having such a tough time finding somebody to run against him?
Well, we're not necessarily having trouble finding someone to run against him, but they do know that there's going to be a lot of money spent against them. But with that said, we're confident on that. Let me pivot a little bit to what Jack was saying about the policies of the school board and where the differences really lie and what's at stake. You know, I have a special talent. I understand and can translate politician speak. And when you go to Mr. Robinson's website, he says he's for continuing the MGT of America study. Well, that's a study that took place here on Sarasota County that proposed cutting teacher pay in Sarasota County by $4,000. It also proposed rolling back school days by half an hour. It also proposed limiting the number of school aides. So That's not something the Democrats are for, and that's why we are going to fight hard. And it's not a Democrat issue. It's a public good issue because it's for public schools.
Well, Jack, you said earlier that traditionally we don't view the school board in partisan terms, but obviously more and more because of positions, it is being looked at this way. So, is it unavoidable that this is going to be a partisan campaign?
It probably will be, unless you guys take our offer to we'll all stay out of it. We're there, but if it will be, because the issues, as there's been recent directives from Washington. Parents and students, we need to control that on, issues on a local basis, and that having that type of process brought down, or the direction brought down, that we don't have control, our own school system and our own board doesn't have control for what happens here in Sarasota. That's not good.
And Shelby, what Jack is talking about is the transgender bathroom issue, which
Absolutely.
kind of actually became an issue here in Sarasota before it exploded nationally.
Absolutely. I mean, it happened back in January here when Pineview School changed its policy to allow a senior there now, Nate Quinn, to use the restroom that corresponds with his gender identity. He's a transgender male, so he's now using the male's restroom. But the transgender bathroom debate is going to be one of the biggest issues when it comes to this school board race. Another issue, especially, if you were asking
because
earlier.
the current school board basically kicked the can down the road, and it didn't come out definitively one way or the other.
Exactly. So they're still handling those on a case-by-case basis, and there are still protests at almost every school board meeting that starts after 5:30 from people on both sides of the issue just trying to get the school board to come to a decision. So that's going to be a huge issue. Another issue that sort of almost pokes at a partisan part of this is the tax credit scholarships. So those allow companies to basically donate money to a pot. And then that money is used to give scholarships to lower income students to attend private schools. Increasingly, they're increasing the income that you need to qualify. So you can be, you're still moderately low income, but you can be a little more wealthy and do that. So that's another pretty big issue.
And we'll have to leave it there. And I want to thank you all for coming in tonight. And we'll be back in just a moment.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on a pedal. You get a clean mop head that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
If you have a suspicion for harboring prostate cancer, we have a way of diagnosing by using an exquisite instrument called 3-dimensional color flow power Doppler ultrasound. Using this system, we can identify abnormalities within the prostate that you could otherwise never detect. The Totoli Cancer Center is the only center in the southeastern United States which has this technology. If you have prostate cancer, we will find it.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
Wow. Coyotes are running amok in Venice. Police are now warning residents to avoid the animals. But if you do encounter one, you should make yourself appear big and scare them off with noise. Good luck with that. As for removing them, wildlife officials say attempting to move them will only bring more. And here is what you have to say. Rosanna Lawatch writes, where do you expect them to go? Make accommodations for the wildlife displaced with the housing and commercial development. Patty O'Brien writes, once they started that development off I-75, they had to go somewhere. We are destroying their homes for the sake of building more homes. So we have no one to blame but our greed. And Georgia Hopner writes, like with all wild animals, treat them with respect. Don't leave food out and let them pass through. You should be watching your own animals no matter what. Well, if you'd like to join the conversation about tonight's topic, just visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/news at7. And that's all the time we have for this evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alan Cohn. Have a good night and a great weekend.